Welcome. Forgot my producer. He always wants to be in here. Welcome. Welcome back to the stream. Welcome back to another video. Today we're going to talk about Tesla's upcoming deal, incentive, and discount on the Tesla Model Y. And of course, we're not talking about the brand new Juniper Tesla Model Y. We're talking about the old and busted old Model Y, which if you're brand new to Tesla, you might be wanting to wait for a deal on a Tesla, and it might be the perfect storm. Best time to get into an old Tesla. So we're going to get into that plus a variety of topics. But before we do that, let's roll that intro really quick. All right, so thanks for watching another stream. Thanks for watching another video. My name is Dennis, and I love talking about Tesla deal hacking, as I like to call it, but basically just getting the best deal on Tesla at the best financing rate. So definitely hit that subscribe if you're interested, and definitely check out my Patreon link down below in the description where you can support the channel and get access to the ultimate Tesla buying guide out there with all the best interest rates for financing a new or used Tesla. And today's live stream is partnered with Mint Mobile, where you can save money on your mobile phone plan for as low as $15 a month, but more on that later. Inventory, Tesla Model Y. There will be an upcoming discount deal incentive on the older Tesla Model Y, especially when the new Juniper starts to get released. And I'm still expecting some sort of announcement for the Model Y Juniper for the USA market sometime before January 29th. You might be wondering why January 29th? Well, that's because of the next Tesla earnings call is on January 29th. And so that's when I feel like it's going to be happening before that. And so once the new Juniper gets released, we don't know if it's going to be a launch edition like they're doing in China, which could be marked up, which could create more spread between the new Model Y and the old Model Y. But I do expect some sort of deal, some sort of discount incentive on the older Tesla Model Y. And we'll just jump right into it. But before we do that, let me show you some of the great deals that we're finding right now. $4,200 off. Another one, $4,200 off Model Y long range all-wheel drive. Here's another one, $4,800 off on a Model Y Performance. And the beauty with these is that this is before the Tesla referral code, where you can save up to an extra $1,000 off of a Tesla vehicle, like the one down below in the description. And so here's what a couple of my predictions are going to be, and this could happen anytime between now and probably June, because I'm still thinking a USA release could be June for Juniper, but maybe it could be anytime between March and June for Juniper. But who knows? Maybe we'll start to see what could actually happen. But full self-driving and supercharging, I do expect some sort of offer that we saw in December to come back, but only for the Tesla Model Y. I fully expect a 0% financing offer for the older generation Model Y only. And if it's not as good as 0%, maybe a 0.99 or 1.99, but definitely it will be better than 5.99 that it's at where it's at right now. Last time in December, we saw 0% for 60 months. I think they're going to rip the Band-Aid off and go at least to 60 months or even 72 months on the old Model Y only. I don't see any sort of changes, maybe like a 2.99 or 3.99 for the Model 3, but we'll see. And I was really expecting some sort of offer on the old Model S or the current Model S and the Model X, but we didn't see any of that in Q4. So I have no high hopes for that at all. Leasing, I think it's going to be saying the same. $299 seems to be the sweet spot. I mean, the competition is going even lower than $299, but I don't really feel like Tesla could go down there. Maybe we see some $199 payments, but who knows? I don't really see that until maybe later on this December this year, when we get another rush of deals and incentives. And currently we are seeing discounts $4,000 to $5,000 off, like this one right here, a Model Y Performance, $4,440 off. And then here's another one, another Model Y Performance, $4,440 off. We keep track of all the best deals that we find in our deal spreadsheet down below in the description. And so I'll also paste it here if you want to take a look at it. We keep track of all the best deals ones so that you can see as a frame of reference all the different deals across the country for Model Y and Model 3. And the beauty with these is that this is before the Tesla referral code, where you can save an extra up to $1,000 off of a Tesla, like that Tesla referral code down below in the description. But certainly, that's my quick prediction on what I feel like. I mean, right now we're seeing inventory discounts $4,000 to $5,000 off at a maximum, but I expect them to go even further at the end of Q4 with like a few days left in the month. I was seeing inventory discounts $8,000, $9,000. The highest was $10,800 on a Model Y long range only. So I do expect to see some sort of those type of deals, maybe even certain structures like that in the near future as Juniper releases, which Juniper could be releasing maybe this week, maybe next week, but definitely if I had to put money on it, Juniper is definitely going to be coming out before January 29th, because January 29th is the next earnings call for Tesla. And so if you're looking to get a deal on a Model Y, there's going to be a situation where you're going to be looking at it. Do you get an older Model Y with all the different incentives, 0%, maybe $5,000 off, and a couple months of free supercharging? Or do you get a brand new Juniper, the redesign with no discounts, 5.99% financing, and arguably a worse deal, but it's the latest and greatest, and you get all the different features and everything, but the same hardware and all that other different stuff. But I put a poll on the channel, and so let's go ahead and refresh it to actually see what discounts or what incentives do you think will be offered by Tesla for the previous generation Model Y. And it seems like an overwhelming 53% said 0% financing for 72 months, 36% said $5,000 off, 7% said 1 year of free supercharging, and 4% said something else. And the reason why I put this 1 year plus of free supercharging, because we are seeing multiple years of free supercharging in other markets. And so maybe we will see something like that in the near future. In some other news, we've got some other Model Y different news and everything, but here's a cool story from Tesbros. If you didn't know, Tesbros offers DIY PPF kits where you can save thousands instead of paying a shop to do paint protection film or wrap or whatever. And so here's a cool story where this person saved thousands of dollars. They were quoted $6,500 to wrap their own Cybertruck, but they did it themselves for $900. So you can save thousands. So definitely check out, if you want to do DIY PPF, paint protection film, definitely check out the Tesbros link where you can save some extra money by using our code and link down below in the description. And of course, it supports the channel as well. So if you're thinking about doing this, definitely check out Tesbros down below. But definitely some crazy deals right now that we're starting to see trickle in, not a ton, but still we are seeing a certain amount of long ranges and performance for the Model Y around that average $4,000 to $5,000 off. So if I was looking for a Tesla Model Y right now, I would want at a minimum $4,000 off. And maybe a lease could make sense, but definitely not 5.99. I think I would hold off if I was doing like a 5.99 type of offer. Before we get into our next topic, I've been trying to save money lately, and that's why we talk about this channel, trying to get the best deal on a Tesla. And I've been looking at our subscriptions like YouTube Premium, Netflix, trying to figure out how I could save some money every single month. And cutting expenses, it's kind of hard. We've been trying to rack our brain together and figure out how. That's why I'm so intrigued with our channel partner, Mint Mobile. They offer premium wireless starting at $15 a month. And I can get high-speed data and unlimited talk and text on the nation's largest 5G network, and I can even bring my own phone along with my current number and existing contracts. I'm sacrificing nothing. I've used Mint Mobile a ton, and I switched my second line to Mint Mobile, and I've been using it to watch YouTube and play podcasts on our daily commute and haven't noticed any drop in speed. And I can't tell the difference. So how hard is it to switch service? Big Wireless wants you to think it's actually hard, but it's not at all. Switching to Mint is super easy thanks to digital eSIM cards, which most of you now have. You can sign up and activate immediately right on your phone from the comfort of your home. If your phone doesn't have an eSIM, Mint will ship you a new SIM card for free. So if you want to save little money without the sacrifice, go to trymintmobile.com/DennisCW, also linked down below in the description, to get premium wireless for just $15 a month when you purchase a 3-month plan. Thank you to Mint for partnering, and let's get on to the next topic. Thanks for that, everyone. Lavendi, thanks for coming in. Who else do we got? Brandon, thanks for coming in. Queasy, thanks for coming in and being a bot. Anshul, A1, thanks for coming in. Farm, Lucas, great to see you. Captain, let's see, Z, and Let's see, Mr. Fix It First, great to see you. And Christian, thank you for dropping by. Thanks for hitting the like button, the comments, and everything. I guess we went on too many comments here. Angel, are we going to be forced to get the launch edition? Yeah, I fully expect Tesla to do a launch edition in the USA market. I mean, they're just riding off the coattails of the Foundation Series Cybertruck, and they kind of realized it worked. And there's going to be people that are going to be willing to pay that, $3,000, $4,000, $5,000 markup on top of it. If you had to estimate on when Tesla would do a clearance on the old Model Y, when would that be? A1, it's going to be February to March, and also not April, probably May to June. February to March and April to June, because those are the 2 months of the ends of each of those quarters. Farm, I don't think I qualify for the tax credit from the 2024, so I might have to wait for the R2. Well, Farm, the good workaround is for the tax credit, it can be, you can use your current tax year or last year for income limits. And on top of that, leasing is the biggest loophole. And so we've made plenty of videos on that. And maybe we'll talk about that in the near future. Captain, so is it true the new Model Y won't have any towing capacity, so they won't be able to tow hitch like the older Model Ys can tow 3,500 pounds? I would imagine they would roll that for the US. I don't think they would take that away, but I haven't seen anything about that. But now it makes me want to research a little bit more on that. In this next topic, Tesla Model Y Juniper refresh begins production tomorrow. We've got another rumor and post from the Giga Berlin market. Post from Tesla Newswire. Production of the new Tesla Model Y will start as soon as tomorrow, Tuesday, January 14th at Giga Berlin. Management informed Tesla employees earlier today. So it seems like this Model Y Juniper is starting to roll out and be delivered, which makes sense because China was signaling a March delivery. And so you do have to start production a month or two beforehand to actually get those vehicles to roll out. And so it seems like it's going to be in the same situation where all these other countries might get access and delivery to these vehicles before the US. But I do envision some sort of announcement of the Model Y Juniper for the US market before January 29th. But here's a post. Customers who ordered a Model Y in the Philippines will automatically get upgraded to the Juniper model when delivery start, Tesla says. So it seems like if you've got a pending order for a Model Y and they have not had you take delivery yet, and if it's still pending into the indefinite future, they might actually auto convert you to the Model Y Juniper when production and everything rolls out. So it seems like even in the Philippine market, the Model Y Juniper is getting pretty quick to a release with that. And here's a spy shotting, and here's a post that Ryan posted. Tesla fan, someone sent this to me on November 30th, which was a German magazine doing a concept rendering. And this early on, we had no idea what it may potentially look like. But if you look at it, they were pretty spot on with this concept rendering. It kind of looks almost exactly like that, minus, of course, the LED bar in the front. But the other thing with this, and the reason why I pulled this up, is because this seems to be kind of like a performance variant. We've got some nicer rims on it, and it definitely has a more sportier look as well. And so I'm excited to see what the Model Y performance could look like, because if it's anything like the Model 3 performance and how they've changed it, we could actually see a big update for sure. And then if you're wondering how Glacier Blue may actually look like, it seems like we've got plenty of Model Y Junipers being rolled out in the China market already being produced and everything. But here's the Model Y Juniper in Glacier Blue in real world pictures, a real world look at it, and it's not as blue as those marketing photos. And that's kind of the problem with marketing photos, right? They definitely tone it up or tone it down. This looks more like stealth grayish, or stealth gray with like a little bit of blue paint thrown into it. And so certainly very interesting. But this is what I'm most excited for. One of the features I'm excited for, this rear taillight bar, and how like when it's off like this, you don't see any red at all, and it actually kind of looks matte blackish. So it looks very cool to see for sure. But let us know what your thoughts on it, and when do you think a USA release could be for the Model Y Juniper, which I definitely think it's going to be before the end of the month, but you never know. Well, let me know what you think it actually could be releasing in the US. Lucas, thanks for coming in. Of course, it's not available in the US at the moment. Z, he's just, excited. I missed out on the sale for Starlink. Are they going to do another first sale for the Starlink Mini? I don't know, actually. It seems like that was like a Q4 push as well. Right now, I think Tesla, SpaceX are preoccupied with what's going on in the LA market. And so maybe they're kind of giving them away for free to the fire stations, but I don't know if that's putting a strain on inventory. Mixer Fixer first. Thanks for coming in. Gregory, just dropped off my car for a wrap today. You're right. I couldn't drive a white car around for the next 3 years. Nice. Congrats. I can't wait to see what color you go with, Gregory. It's going to be pretty exciting for sure. Mission, thanks for the giveaway. The Cybertruck projection lights arrived. Congrats, Mission, and enjoy those. Install them, and let me know how those go with the installation and everything. Dexter, do we not get the $7,500 tax credit on the front end if we finance? You 100% do. If you purchase any of the Tesla Model Ys, they all qualify for the $7,500. And it is a point of sale discount. You get that on the cash or finance. And if you're leasing, it's itemized on the lease as well. You don't get it if you make above the income limits of like 150 or 300K married, but leasing is the biggest loophole with that. But don't hold that lease too long because leasing does have higher interest rates. Well, I guess it's actually lower interest rates. So actually you can keep the lease fine and you're fine actually perfectly fine. Because I think last time we checked Model Y interest rates on lease was like 3% and a finance was like 5.99%. So leasing actually is the best route at the moment for buying a Tesla. Huh, interesting. Good to know on that one. Because maybe we'll talk about that because that is interesting. For some reason I didn't realize that until now, but maybe we're so cooped up in this 0% offer and then 5.99 and all this different stuff. In this next topic, here's an insane deal. $139 a month on this electric vehicle. And this electric vehicle is the Volkswagen ID4. And you can see $139 a month on the ID4 on the left side and $145 a month on the ID4 on the right side. It seems like Volkswagen is finally back to delivering these. Production, I think there was an issue or something, and both of these are actually sold out. So it seems like this offer was very good and it did wonders for them to clear out inventory. But it's crazy. Like, this question here is this vehicle worth $139 a month? I mean, even if you don't like these vehicles at all, at $139 a month, it seems like a pretty decent calculated risk to drive for what, a 24-month lease with zero down, just pay the taxes and fees and plus a broker fee. I mean, that doesn't seem like a bad deal at all. I mean, you can even do the math there. $139 times 24. If you're trying to save as much money as possible and just drive the cheapest vehicle, that's what, $3,400 in plus the $2,324. You can see you're pretty much out the door about $5,000 for 2 years, which I guess you could backtrack the math and see how much monthly that could be. But crazy to see some sort of deals like this across the board. Electric vehicles continue to have crazy deals, like Hyundai Ioniq 5 on this screen right here, $180 a month. And of course, VinFast, which I don't know if I would drive a VinFast, but $185 a month. But let us know, did you compare some of these deals? Did you drive some of these vehicles before getting into your Tesla, or at least making a decision and get into 8 Tesla vehicles? Because certainly there's still competition out there for Tesla, and that's why I feel like at $299 a month for a Tesla Model 3 or Model Y, it's great, but there's a lot of other dealers and manufacturers and vehicles that are way under that as well. But let us know what your thoughts on it. Let us know what you're thinking. We're going to jump into the live stream comments. Chris, Tesla Taiwan showing the Juniper in black. Yeah, looks sick for sure. Jesse, anyone know if the inventory vehicle stays for business tax credit only, it will only be available for a business entity to get the tax credit and cannot be for non-business? Yeah, unfortunately, once those vehicles are locked down like that, you could try and see if you could lease it to be a workaround. Sometimes I've seen that where it says business tax and lease. That's a good workaround, and you could go with that direction as well, because now Tesla allows buyouts, so it's perfectly fine. Just, of course, don't forget to use a Tesla referral code, just like the one down below in the description, so you can save up to an extra $1,000 off of a Tesla vehicle. And you can find our best discounts in our deal spreadsheet down below, where we track all the different Model 3s and Model Ys out there. My credit score is about 690. Will Tesla approve me for a loan with a trade-in vehicle with $18,000 value? Big, great question. Is that $18,000 value, is that paid off? So you're putting like a down payment of $18,000? Then I would say you've got a pretty good chance. If you owe on that $18,000 vehicle, like if you owe $18,000, then I would say no. You would need to bring like $10,000 to $20,000 to the table to see where we're at, or to see where you're at. Model Y and Juniper are going to have a nice sound system. The subwoofer is big. Nice. I heard there was more speakers, or I read there was more speakers, but I didn't know if the subwoofer was bigger. Instacart, seems like the rollout for the Juniper will be very similar to last year's Highland. Instacart, that was what I was worried about. I hope they don't repeat that because there was a massive delay to that. But we'll see. What's the best CarPlay device that you use for your Tesla, Captain Brandon? I actually don't use CarPlay at all. Like, I've used CarPlay. I've had rental vehicles. I've actually owned vehicles at the same time with a Tesla that would have CarPlay. And I actually don't really like CarPlay. I don't know what it is about it. I just don't like my phone being tied up at the same time that I'm driving. I like it having operating on separate systems. And so I'm all in on the Tesla Ecosphere multimedia display and everything. And also I've kind of ditched Waze. I only really use Waze, and I guess maybe because in California there's just, knock on wood, CHP cops on the highway, and I just throw on Waze when I need it, basically. New Model Y Juniper looks fire, can't lie. Yeah, the internet is pretty divided on it, but certainly it is pretty nice. Lavendi, is your Corgi okay? Yeah, he is perfectly fine. He just nice. He just likes to always be in here. He's the producer and wants to make sure that the show is going great. Francisco, how much is your guess when the new Model Y comes in? Model Y is going to be the same price, but there will be well, I shouldn't say will be. I've got a high probability or a high chance. I think there's going to be a high chance that we are also going to have the launch edition as well. And so that could be a markup of $3,000. It could be a markup of $5,000. I mean, we'll see, because the one thing with that is that it does include acceleration boost. So at least that's a $2,000 value. But if you're just joining in, welcome everybody. We're talking about the upcoming discounts or the potential upcoming discounts of the old and busted Tesla Model Y, the older Model Y versus the new Juniper. Because what's going to happen in this next near future, Model Y Juniper is going to have a USA launch. There's going to be orders in the queue. There potentially could be a Model Y Juniper launch edition for the US like they're doing in China. And so there's going to be a difference between, do you want the new Juniper that potentially could be delivered anytime between March and June at 5.99% at the payment of whatever and no discount, no supercharging or anything? Or do you want the old Model Y? It could have free supercharging. It could have 0% for 60 or 72 months financing. It could have a low lease payment of $299 a month, and maybe even discounts as high as $5,000 to $10,000 off, even higher than what we're seeing at the moment. We're still seeing discounts, $4,000 off on this long range, $4,240. We're seeing another one, long range, $4,200. We're seeing a Model Y Performance at $4,860 off. And the beauty with is that this is before the Tesla referral code discount, which you can find down below in the description, where you can save up to an extra $1,000 and stack it on top of these, which would make it $5,000 or close to $5,000 off on some of these. But there is going to be a situation where we see some of those spreads between old Model Y and new Model Y. And so you got to be ready for that, or decide, are you going to be willing to pay that extra markup to be one of the first kids on the block to have that shiny new bicycle? Joel, anticipate any deals on the Model 3 in Q1? Good deal to buy a demo vehicle. Yeah, we are already starting to see some Model 3 performance deals. We put it on our spreadsheet, actually. The biggest one that we see is $3,900 off on a Model 3 performance. I think it's going to get better, as it always gets better as we get to the end of each quarter. And so right now we're in Q1. That goes from January to March. We've also learned in these past 6 months through last year that Tesla kind of realized that they don't want to roll out incentives too close to the end of the quarter. And so I do fully expect some sort of incentive at the end of January, and definitely by February to early March. Jay, bro, where do you see these Model Y long range all-wheel drive $4,000 to $5,000 off? I can't find any in New Jersey. Please let me know. Yeah, definitely check out our deal spreadsheet down below, where you can find all the different links to the ones that I link, so you can just get some frame of reference. New Jersey, though, is a tough market because I think you've got some electric vehicle incentives still, and that's why they just sell quick. And Tesla, they can regionalize and state level incentivize or discount vehicles based upon demand. So if there's already a state level incentive in that area, that's why you're not seeing any, because people buy them because they can already save money, and it keeps rolling and rolling. Water break. And this next topic, Model 3. Cyber concept. What if the Model 3 gets re-released and refreshed and gets a light bar across the front? Well, shout out to Sugar Design for putting these together. Here's what a Model 3 Highland could look like with a cyber bar going across the front in the exact same style as a Model Y Juniper. This one looks kind of off, and I'm not sure if I would be a fan of it, but this one though, I mean, a Model 3 Performance with that light bar, I mean, maybe we'll start to be in a situation where these vehicles could be retrofitted with the bumper or something, or in a 2-year refresh or mid-cycle refresh or whatever it may be, maybe Tesla just adds that bar to the front of the Model 3 as well. I mean, if they've already got it for the Model Y, I can't imagine it would be too hard of a retrofit to kind of adjust it and remorph it to bring some excitement to the Model 3. Because once we see the Model Y out there and once we see it on the road, the old Model 3 is going to look pretty dated. And also look at the back of it. What if we were to put that same rear part onto the back of the Model Y and Model 3 as well? And here's a cool look at what the black Model Y Launch Edition series looks like in the Taiwan market. And I think if I'm going to get a Model Y, which I kind of want to get one, I'm definitely going with the black. I mean, I've always wanted a black with white interior Tesla, and we also love deals. And so for the past all 6 Teslas that we've had, we've never been able to set up a black with white Tesla because we're more attracted to the big deal that is out there. But still, really cool to see. I mean, definitely this one takes the cake, is a winner for sure. And I think I would buy this one because it just looks fantastic with this crazy light bar on the front and this size of a vehicle. But let us know what you think. Would you like a Model 3 with a cool light bar like this running across the top of it? RC, Berlin is also producing the new Model Ys and now according to Electrified. Yes, we talked about that. It seems like they've kicked off the production, and that starts tomorrow. At least rumors from employees have definitely announced it. Josh, do you think the new iteration of the Model 3 with similar updates to the new Model Y coming soon? Front camera light changes. I don't think so. I mean, I think that's going to be a mid-cycle refresh, maybe in like 2 years. Crypto, thanks for coming in. Old and busted, Jonathan. Yeah, I mean, if you know where that's from, definitely drop it in the comments as well. Old Model Y, 72 months, 0% down payment, even better than 120 months, 0.99 like in Japan. Yeah, I think we're going to see some good deals for sure on the old Model Y coming soon. So when is Tesla going to refresh the Model X? Captain Brandon, that is a great question because we've already started to see some 2025 Model S's and Model X's into inventory. I really feel like the Model S and Model X need a refresh, but at the same time, they don't really do too much volume of those vehicles. If you look at Model Y sales in production versus Model S or even Model X, we're talking like hundreds of thousands of vehicles sold versus like 10 to 20,000 vehicles. So I can see why they're not as enthused or not as motivated to refresh those vehicles. In this next topic, when will the Cybertruck be available for a low price of $53,000? Let's talk about this for a second and I'll give you my thoughts on it because yes, when the Cybertruck was initially released, like way back then, I remember seeing on the screen there was like a price of $40,000, which is pretty crazy for sure. And the hype is there and the hype is fading though. Inside EVs posted this, Tesla sold almost 39,000 Cybertrucks in 2024, but sales have slowed down significantly towards the end of the year because at the end of the day, the Cybertruck is an expensive vehicle and there's plenty of competition in the space. F-150 Lightning, Cybertruck, Rivian R1T, and much more. And so this initial hype of being the first and being able to drive the latest and coolest thing will start to fade, and it's already starting to fade. I helped a couple friends get into Cybertrucks by the end of last year for a December deal, and I remember one of them specifically, I'm talking about Sherwin, who we made the delivery video with, and you can definitely check out his breakdown of all the payments. He was able to get close to like $20,000 off of a Tesla Cybertruck when you factor in the $7,500 tax credit and everything. So when will the cheapy Cybertruck, the Cybertruck that could be as low as $53,490, actually start to come out? And the retail price of that is $60,990. But if you guys recall on the federal government website where they post all the different vehicles that could potentially be eligible for the $7,500 federal tax credit this year, we will notice that there is actually the Tesla Cybertruck, the single motor version at $80,000 MSRP cap listed on this site as well. And I think if I remember correctly, when this page launched and you could put a deposit for the cheapy Cybertruck at $60,000, it did say delivery in 2026, but they've since removed that. So I do expect actually that we could see some Cybertrucks in the 53 to 60K new price range, maybe even as soon by the end of this year in Q4. So if you're looking to get a deal on a Cybertruck, if you're looking to spend the same price as a Model Y Performance essentially, or maybe not essentially, but close within a $10,000 striking range, maybe it could be worth it to wait out for a 60K or 50K Tesla Cybertruck by later this year. And the one thing is for sure, this December, this end of quarter for the year, I can't believe we're talking about next December already, is going to be a crazy time because we're going to have different vehicles in different price ranges with big discounts and also incentives like Tesla always does by the end of the year. But definitely some pretty interesting stuff. Let us know what your thoughts on a Cybertruck, and if you're looking to get a deal on a Cybertruck as well, and what price do you think the Cybertruck actually is worth it, and whether you think they'll actually sell tons of volume. And yeah, 50K is that price point where if you can get a Cybertruck for 50K, it is crazy value at the end of the day. It seems like Elon is looking to use Cybertrucks temporarily. He posted this: apologies to those expecting Cybertruck deliveries in California over the next few days. We will be using those trucks as mobile base stations to provide power to the Starlink internet terminals in areas in LA without connectivity. A new truck will be delivered by the end of the week. And we're starting to see crazy videos like this, like a caravan of Cybertrucks being driven to the Palisades to, I guess, is essentially provide power and internet to the first responders, the firemen, and everything. So really crazy to see Tesla act this quickly to be able to use support systems to create support systems for those in need. But definitely some pretty interesting stuff. Let us know what your thoughts on. When do you think the Cybertruck is going to be available for 50 to 60K? If it's heavily discounted, I'll take the old Tesla Model Y. Yeah, 100%. I think that's going to be happening soon. Sabal, I even ordered the Model Y on January 7th, but in Canada, they remove the federal incentives, $5,000. Now, although I already ordered my Model Y, I'm not eligible for the federal incentive. Oh, if you locked it in, shouldn't you be eligible? Because if you locked in the older price, you should be okay, right? Unless they change something. Sorry to hear about that. Christian, earlier you said if you could lease, you could buy it out. I thought they changed it where you had to wait until the end of the lease term. Nope, I haven't seen anything where they are restricting that. You can buy it out immediately as long as you go through Tesla Trust Leasing and Chase Leasing. What is the best deal on a Model 3 long range wheel drive or all-wheel drive? All-wheel drive is going to be your better deal, Charlie, for sure. Antonin, how soon do you think they might offer some Model Y incentives on the current stock? February or as soon as end of January, but more closer probably to February or even after that. Black car in a state with lots of sun. You're going to be roasting, Dennis, not to mention all the dings and dirt show up easily. Yeah, true, Lavendi, but that's why you get tint, ceramic tint. I always get ceramic tint like XPEL or 3M on all our Teslas. Shout out to OC Tint Solutions. The owner, Jason, asked for the dentist deal if you're looking for good quality tint. I always get that. And, but yeah, I guess a black car is still going to be hot, but it's okay. We'll figure it out. And yeah, dirtiness. That's why I always do ceramic coating as well on all my Teslas. When will they do 0% APR on the Juniper for USA? That's going to be December is my earliest, maybe even September this year. Do you think 0% APR on Cybertruck for $45,000? No, I don't think they'll get that aggressive because if you think about it, they're not getting that aggressive on Model S or Model X. And so I don't think they'll ever get that aggressive on the Cybertruck, but who knows? Maybe they will because of the production, because it all based upon volume and production, right? And so if it's produced in Texas, maybe it will get aggressive in this next few years. What's your opinion on the solar wrap they did a video on? Are you talking about the Cybertruck? Seems interesting, but the problem with those type of gadgets or that, I can't imagine it gets that much energy, but I guess if it's outside all the time, it might be okay. But you might be able to produce 3 to 10 kilowatts of energy, which I guess is not bad if it's always sitting outside. Can't believe Cybertruck was supposed to be $39,000. I would buy it right away. Yeah, it could be in the near future. probably like a year or two. But if you're just joining in, welcome everyone. We're talking about the upcoming potential discounts of the Tesla Model Y. I mean, I think certainly that we're going to see some sort of supercharging offer, because we're going to be in a situation very soon where we're going to have the new Juniper release with order pages and everything, but there's going to be no deal on that. 5.99% financing is going to be at best, and maybe nothing at all. But versus where you could potentially get a older Model Y, like this Model Y Performance with a $4,800 discount, or this Model Y Long Range with a $4,200 discount. We're going to see more and more of these, especially it gets even better when you stack on a Tesla referral code, just like the one down below in the description, where you can save up to an extra $500 to $1,000 off. And I predict we will see a 0% offer on the old Model Y, whether it's 60 months or 72 months in these next, give it 5 to 6 months. And I also do predict bigger discounts of the Tesla Model Y as well, $5,000 to $8,000 off, since we already see $4,000 off at the moment, or maybe we'll see more widespread $4,000 to $5,000 off across all Model Y old inventory, like the standard range, the long range, and the performance as well. But thanks for watching, everybody. Thanks for supporting. Thanks for hitting the like button and the comments and everything. And I'll see you guys in the next one. See ya.